What is thirdwheeling? I'm so glad you asked. Hi, we are Lama and Saint, and we are going to show you what thirdwheeling is all about. Today, we are off to Kondaveedu Forest in Andhra Pradesh. It is one of the mountains along the 1700-kilometer long Eastern Ghats range. We had been here once trying to find a mountain named Bro Mountain on Google Maps, and this time we wanted to go deeper into the forest and even attempt to cross it. How we find adventures is to open Google Maps in satellite view wherever we are, zoom into interesting terrains, get there, F around and find out. So we did the same this time too. On maps, we saw that Google is actually suggesting a walkable path across the forest. So that was a good sign. Now all we had to do was find out if we could take a motorcycle across and if there are any sloth bears along our way. Commandment number 1 of thirdwheeling. Adventures are all around you. You just need to show up, F around and find out.
You go over the rut and then I'll join you.
So we entered the forest, but the path suggested by Google was very sketchy and unclear that we decided to chart our own route. I got down from the bike and started walking around to find a way to the dried up riverbed which ran parallel to the route suggested by Google Maps. I found one, and when I came back in search of Saint, he had already managed to get himself and a motorcycle, Molly Jr., in a ditch in search of a path into the forest by himself. We had watched enough off-roading videos to know that if your bike had fallen in a weird spot, it was best to drag and rotate the bike when it is horizontal till you have a good line to get out of the ditch rather than to muscle the bike when it is upright. So we got down to dragging and rotating till we aligned it just good enough to ride cleanly out of the ditch.
Wait. Now take a rest.
No, I can't rest peacefully.
Take a rest.
Something happened to the front.
Easy peasy. Commandment number 2 of thirdwheeling. Accidents are bound to happen when you do risky things. Keep calm and be smart about getting out of them. Bring a friend to balance your crazy and their senses, and vice versa.
Bike was stuck. Hey, neutral start. Then what will I do?
Yeah, that's it.
Next, we had to make it through the path I had discovered. The ground was fine, but we had to go through a ton of bushes and shrubs, all looking forward to whack us. So we shut our helmet visors, said a prayer, and just revved through it.
I don't want to go to rock.
What happened? Huh?
Rock is a problem.
Which rock?
Rock under my bike.
We had finally found ourselves on what looked like a trail but the happiness was short-lived. Soon, the trail branched into a bunch of smaller trails, like how a river splits, and the ground started getting more and more unpredictable with sand, bigger rocks, and more bushy patches. So we decided to abandon the bike and carry on along the trail on foot. Commandment number 3 of Thirdwheeling. There are no set rules or expectations about the adventure. It is all about adjusting your plan as you go along, but we keep moving forward. Purely on foot to cross the mountain, the suggested route was expected to be about 5 kilometers long. But there were a couple things we had to find out, like how does the passage through the mountains look? Can we bring a motorcycle there? Can we even get to the foot of the mountain to pass through it? Is there a sloth bear in these forests? I held my pepper spray tight and walked on. We were starting to wonder that although this route existed on Google Maps, people may not actually be taking it. But that was until we saw goat poop along the trail, and then it became obvious that mountain goat herders are definitely taking their flock through this trail. So maybe it is safe and sloth bears don't live in this forest? Slowly, gradually, there appeared some sort of a valley with a passage through the mountains, and we figured that this is the one that we were supposed to take. It looked like it might not need any actual mountain climbing, so we figured we could attempt to take the motorcycle through it. Who knows? Molly Jr., her 2 wheels, and her 2 third wheels, that's us, might even make it across the mountain. Commandment number 4 of Thirdwheeling. Look around when you are outdoors. Everything is showing you a way, from the sun to the water forged trails to goat poop.
Trial, no,
Huh?
trial 2.
Trial?
Ah, yeah. What is it called though? Trial is not the right word. Attempt number 2. Listo. Listo. Stop! There's a ditch! I told you to stop!
Huh?
So, whatever you saw there, that was the biggest save in the trip. A bigger save than compared to dropping the bike in the ditch earlier. Because in this new ditch, with the speed he was coming at, there was a good chance he could have been thrown off the bike and broken something. This one isn't really a commandment, but more of a general lesson to remember in life. Pay attention when someone is yelling at you. So we covered all the distance we had walked previously and beyond very quickly with the motorcycle and approached the foot of the hills where the passage was supposed to exist. But once again, it started getting bushy and the trails began to diverge. So we decided to just abandon the bike briefly and see how far we can go. We also had to figure out if we can climb the hill at all with the bike. Once we saw the terrain with the stones laid out, we figured that it is more of a walking path and not necessarily a motorable path. I mean, I'm sure Molly Jr. is capable of making it through. I'm not doubting her. But it was sort of getting dark and we realized that we don't have enough time to attempt a passage and make mistakes, so we decided to get to a scenic spot, get a good look at the forest we had just passed through and call it a day.
Have you had Gorilla Rock? But we can just sit here. Oof! Very nice. How much was it?
The view was just amazing and we really needed that break. It was a little sad that we could not make the hill crossing on the same day, but where we had ended up was totally worth it. Commandment number 5 of Thirdwheeling. This is a little cliched, but it's not about the destination. Thirdwheeling is always about the journey. Saint managed to get stuck in the bushes again as he turned around, but managed to muscle his way through and we headed back home. We had not achieved our goal of crossing Kondaveedu Forest with a motorcycle, but we had definitely found many more routes to take and possible adventures in Kondaveedu the next time we are in the neighborhood. I am sure Kondaveedu is not really a bucket list adventure item for most people when they visit South India, but hey, it wasn't for us too, until we looked at it in the light of the Thirdwheeling commandments.